Once again, it's Angel here from Caught It Outdoors, and in this fly tying tutorial I'm going to tie for you a pattern I call a pheasant-tailed hare's ear flashback nymph. And so this is the pattern that I was fishing just this last Saturday as an attractor pattern, and under it I was fishing a blue-winged olive emerger pattern. And so I caught lots of fish on the blue-winged olive emerger pattern, but I also caught fish on this flashback nymph. I was fishing this more or less as an attractor pattern, and so I want to go ahead and tie this. I know this is not an original design by any means. I've seen it somewhere, but I've changed it. I've made a variation of it, and so I want to tie this for you. Now I'm going to roll in a picture of the actual color that is coming off of this opal tinsel, or this opal flashback that I have, that is not showing up on the video right now, but I'm rolling in this picture to show you the beautiful color, the opalescence that comes off of this color, and I believe that is what's really attractive to the fish. And so this is a pattern as I fished it. As a matter of fact, this is the actual fly that I actually fished. Right here, the flashback is a little less, and so I've kind of added to it. And so what we're going to be tying this on is a size 14 N204 by Allen Fly Fish hook. And so before we put our hook on, we want to also add a bead. And so we're going to be using a tungsten gold bead by Allen Fly Fishing. And so if you have not purchased beads or hooks from Allen Fly Fishing, I suggest you go to their website and check them out. Their pricing is far better than anyone else that I've seen. I haven't shopped too much around. Okay, we got our hook beaded. Let's lock this into the vise. And just in case you're interested in knowing, I'm using an Atlas vise. Let's start our thread here, break our thread. And so for the ribbing, I'm using a very thin wire. I can't give you a size or a brand because this wire actually came off of an electrical component. Whenever you find this was actually a relay to an international truck. By trade, I drive truck and I work for a construction company. I do demo work. Okay. This doesn't need to be the neatest job. It's all going to be covered up. Okay, we're going to go down with that about 3/4 of the way. Now we want our pheasant tail, and so I'm going to use a few fibers here. I'd say about 6 to 8 fibers for the tail. Break them off with the tips aligning, and so we went around, say 2/3 the length of the body will be fine. And so alright, so we're going to go ahead and tie this back a little bit, securing it. I got a warning there. I wonder if that's my phone. I hope it's not the phone I'm recording on. Okay, now we're going to add our rabbit. For dubbing, we're using a rabbit. Now, you can use a hare's mask, of course, by all means, but I really want to go light. Now, I have the added, ability here, because I have not just the hare's mask, but the whole skin that I went out and shot. I have the ability to go ahead and choose a very fine dubbing for the body, because I don't want this very buggy, but I want it in the right color. And so I have the ability to choose from everything that I want. So here we go. We got this brown color, tan. I'm going to go ahead and wax my thread, and then just work this dubbing in there. Building a taper there, and we're going to go ahead and go about 2/3 the way up, and that's good enough. Take off the excess. And so if you have a little too much, now we're going to take our fibers that we left from the same tail fibers to put and then just go right over that. Sorry there. Secure that. Trim that off because we won't be using the pheasant tail as a wing case. This is a pattern that most often you would associate with having a wing case, but in this one I don't do a wing case on it. Let me grab my larger half hitch tool and do a half hitch and throw it right over that bead, that way I can get this thread out of my way so that I have room to work here. And so we're going to go ahead and wrap this wire. Now I have found it a lot easier to wrap over, hold, and then pull down so that the torque of the material itself does not carry my material over. At least that's my theory. Okay. Go ahead and, whoops, sorry, I got the camera really close and I keep banging it. Alright, let's helicopter this off. This wire is reddish in color, and I really like the hue that it throws out there. Okay, now for our flashback material, now you could use a opal colored scudback. You can use a mylar, and so this is what I'm using. It's an opal colored. This is a flashback material that I ordered on eBay, but when it showed up I realized, hey, this is not flashback or scudback material. This is cellophane, colored cellophane. So I felt really, dumb that I got burned by some guy in China who sent me colored cellophane and just called it scudback material. But I want to tell you something. I don't know if you're seeing the color in this, but this stuff has a beautiful hue to it, especially when you throw a UV resin over it. And so I put a little point to this material. I've got it trimmed, pre-trimmed to half a hook gap in width, and I'm going to take this back to the proper distance that I want it at. I don't know if it's a proper distance, but it's where I want it. Okay, now the thorax, we're gonna make it out of rabbit, but I'm gonna go ahead and not pick so much of the fine stuff, but I want something darker, something more mottled, just like back here in the rabbit, but something that's more buggier. Now I'm gonna make a mix of this stuff and this really small short stuff here, and you could even throw some of this. Now I feel like Bob Ross. Okay, and so let's see how this stuff dubs. Oh yeah, that's going to be some buggy stuff. Not nearly enough of what I need, but I'm just going to put little bits at a time. But this is going to bring the illusion of our legs. And so we want to get a little more of this short stuff, a little more of the longer stuff, mix it. And right behind our bead, bring our flashback material over. Hold it there. Throw a loose wrap. Position it right. Pull it back, throw a locking wrap or two in there, and then cut our material off. Now let's check out this fly and see what it looks like. Okay, we got some serious wild hares there. Take our whip finish and finish this fly off. Do a 4 or 5 turn whip finish. Trim your thread. And we're going to go ahead and do the final touch, and that is, I'm going to go ahead and throw a thin coat of this Loon's UV fly finish. And so that's gonna, even if it rides up over the bead, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn this upside down to get a uniform bubble per se. Trying to glob off of that and then just hit it with the light. Now, like I said, I'm going to roll in a picture because for some reason on this camera the color is not coming up quite as it does to the human eye. And I don't know what it looks like to the fish's eye, but I mean, it's attractive to me. And so that's it. The pheasant-tailed hare's ear flashback nymph. And so this fly gave me quite a bit of success, and hopefully it does for you too. Feel free to comment, feel free to give some suggestions, and by all means subscribe so you can get some of the upcoming videos that I have here at Caught It Outdoors. Thanks for watching.